Baller Boys.
Ball Boys, baby. It's Mark and Tyler. You know what it is.
Make sure you follow us on Instagram and on YouTube. Subscribe, follow, share us.
TikTok.
Ohio Boys Productions and TikTok. All the good things.
OHIO.
BOIS. Ladies and gentlemen, so today is Tuesday. Later on tonight, we should be getting the rankings again from the CFP.
Oh, I seen some crazy shit, Tyler, about... Did you see what I sent you on Instagram?
A lot of people are upset.
I don't know if that video was a parody.
I don't think it was. I feel like he was really upset that they were number one.
So the video that I sent Tyler on Instagram was a guy who was going through the top three, which is now it's Ohio State number 1, Georgia number 2, Michigan number 3. And his whole argument was that Ohio State hasn't played anybody. Therefore, Georgia should be number 1 in the country. But we played
Notre Dame.
At the time, they were ranked a top 5 Notre Dame, right?
I think they're top 10.
Top 10.
Not top 5.
And then Penn State was number 6 in the country when we played them, or number 7, something like that.
Yeah.
So, who did Georgia play? The best team on their schedule was what? Missouri?
Yeah.
They were 12? And they don't look good. Again, I wouldn't say that, it's not okay, if Georgia came out and beat Missouri 70-0, okay, I guess you might have an argument. Who has Michigan played? Nobody. Absolutely no. Their first test is this week against Penn State.
I think they're on the road for that game, if I'm not mistaken. Which if they are
they're in Happy Valley, Tyler.
Which I think is going to be a very good game for them.
I think they're going to win it.
Who? Penn State?
Michigan.
Ugh.
They should win it. I know we're saying that they don't play anybody, this and that, cupcake schedule, can crunchers, cheaters, sign stealers, what have you.
Sign stealers.
They still put a good product out on the football field. I think I would give them the edge.
Bums. They've been a good product out against bums.
Yeah. But
lower,
at this point,
not good competition. You niggas aren't playing nobody.
At this point, I would give them a touchdown
you.
over Penn State.
Fuck you. I ain't giving them shit over Penn State. I'm not gonna lie to you. It's kind of funny. A lot of the shit coming out this week. A lot of the teams around the Big Ten that aren't Michigan are, hey yo, you guys should do something about John Harbaugh. They're really
aren't they sanctioning Michigan?
No, nothing's.
And Michigan's appealing the sanctions or something like that.
Nothing's official. For last time, from what I know, nothing's happening yet. But a lot of the teams, a lot of the head coaches, and a lot of the ADs around the Big Ten are very much pressuring the Big Ten and yo, you guys got to do something because this is out of hand. I don't care what anyone says. There's no way that teams are creating dummy calls.
No, Michigan is reverse saying no you and basically trying to out. So they're alleging Ohio State, Rutgers, and Purdue were sharing Michigan signs amongst each other, collectively cheating against Michigan.
What the fuck are you partying with Purdue for?
No, they're just saying coaching staff was most of their allegation is the coaching staffs were intermingling information amongst each other about their signs.
Wow, that's a shitty excuse for you cheating. But
and all the videos very incriminating, of Ohio State throwing signs out and then their sideline freaking out because they know exactly what that sign is. Very incriminating evidence.
I feel again the whole thing is kind of funny because just looking at the whole thing is there's no way that if John Harbaugh was a good head coach that someone in his thing was cheating and he just didn't know about it. He was very much unaware, didn't know what was going on.
I bet you it was something okay, guys, we need to figure out their signs by any means necessary, just a blanket statement to go out and get shit done. And he went out and got shit done. I don't think Harbaugh knew that he was outright buying sideline tickets or anything, but he probably put it out there to make them go try and steal the signs because that's what football teams do.
This is a quote from the great Bo Schembechler. when someone uncovers a scandal in their company, I don't think they can say I didn't know what was going on. They're just saying they are too dumb to do their job. And if they are really too dumb, then why are they getting paid millions of dollars to do it? They know what's going on.
They do.
There's no way that there's no way that this guy who was just some low level guy who just wasn't doing anything somehow came in all this information, and he's just an analyst. He's just a scouting analyst, and he somehow came with all this information for your teams that like somehow some way all this your entire thing went around. Like you went from never beating, like you're splitting, like you're low-key splitting with Penn State, you're splitting with Michigan State every
Haven't
other
beat
year.
Ohio State yet.
You
haven't beat
Ohio State
right, because
yet.
these allegations go 2 years back at least.
3 years.
3 years.
So again,
There's also that picture of the coach on the sidelines with Central Michigan, him wearing Central Michigan gear, like he's got the. It's a guy that kind of looks like him with the quarter zip and the hat and the sunglasses and the goatee. He looks a lot like the guy, and a lot of people are like, "Hey, Central Michigan, who is this guy?"
Again, I feel like it's kind of nasty because there's no way that teams are creating dummy calls and you're not cheating. Like teams aren't just creating a dummy call or dummy signals just because they may have saw something on film. Like no, you were doing something. You were doing something that they were like, no, we actively have to give like fake signals because they are cheating. It was a known thing in the conference by a lot of the teams that they were cheating and that they were illegally scouting. So again, my whole thing is this.
Oh my God.
My whole thing is this. If it's true, I'd say if it's true, they should get hit. They should get hit pretty hard. If it's not true, there's nothing wrong with AO. We're gonna suspend this for right now, and then we're gonna pick it up and we're gonna see where everything falls later on.
Tyler,
what's happening?
Connor Stallions is the coach who got found out.
No, he's not a coach. He was a scouting
analyst who got found out. So someone put a tweet out there that says they found court records and like a transcript because a guy was suing him, and one of his arguments in court was that the guy is probably a Michigan State fan.
That's hilarious. That's real hating that shit. I love it though. I ain't gonna fuck with you. I love it. I respect it.
What is wrong with people?
Again, if it's nothing, it's nothing. Yeah, there ain't nothing you can do about it. But at the same time, if this is something, and from what it looks like, it is actually something really bad went on. Their record was, I think they had like a 22-11 record before the allegations started, and
it wasn't all terrible. Like
22-11, and they went to 33-3. Something went on. And two of those three losses were in like the college football playoffs. So something went on that you didn't just flip. You didn't just flip. You just went. You just got incredibly better. That you went from 22-11 like to 33-3 in that time span. Something went on.
I think the NCAA.
You were stealing.
I think the NCAA is going to flex its muscles.
I don't think the NCAA is going to flex their muscles. If
they need to flex. I feel like they need to flex their muscles on something. Maybe all of a sudden the NCAA is, in this huge reform, with the new college football playoff format and the NIL, like. But a part of me still thinks that there's the sector of the NCAA that wants to be tough on these schools and taking advantage of the rules. So part of me feels like maybe they'll flex their muscles. I don't think, even if they are sign stealing, other teams are sign stealing. It's kind of like the Astros in baseball sign stealing. They just took it to a different level and kind of a cartoonish level. If you're trying to get away with murder, don't use Venmo to pay your assassin.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Don't create it like an easily
That was goofy. He had a paper trail and explicitly said XXX sideline ticket this date. What is wrong with you? What? Just put a pizza emoji.
Also, he's a fucking analyst. How much money is an analyst getting made? Like, you have to, like, for some of these...
they probably have a budget. If this is known from like, they probably have a budget for travel and expenses.
And that's exactly why people think, like, there's no way that this guy was just doing this by himself.
But, I mean, you can also just argue, like, yeah, I'm going to look at transfers at so-and-so university. Business expense.
But, Mark, at how many schools? How many? And then
they're scouting all year.
Okay, cool.
In every school.
You're scouting, but the transfer portal hasn't really popped off until like these past 2 years, maybe.
Yeah.
Like, my guy, like, you weren't just going there scouting for talent, and then you weren't going to Ohio State scouting for talent. You weren't. You weren't going to Ohio State scouting for talent. You were going to Penn State. You weren't going to Penn State scouting for talent.
I've never seen somebody leave Ohio State and go to Michigan.
If you're scouting for talent, you're probably going to a school that's probably not doing so hot. You probably going to, like, all right, I can see.
I'm going to, like, SMU or, like,
Oklahoma,
San Diego State,
Oklahoma State. Like, I can see you going out of conference and looking to pull somebody in,
or even in conference, like, bringing up, like, a fifth-year
Purdue, Indiana,
like a Rutgers, Illinois,
something like that. You're not going to your rival, to, like, some of your rival schools and thinking, yeah, I'm about to pull this guy. You're probably not going to pull that guy.
Nope.
You're probably not doing that for that reason. So again, like, the paper trail's there. It'll be very interesting to see what the Big Ten does. I don't think the NCAA does anything before the Big Ten does it. I think the Big Ten will lead this charge. And I was watching Get Up on ESPN this morning, and one of the things that the lady said was that if the Big Ten the most the Big Ten could do is probably suspend them for about 2 games. So that'd be this game, that'd be their Maryland game, and then he'd come back for the OSU game. So again, my whole thing is this: I think you should suspend them for those 2 games. And then if nothing happens, all right, cool. It is what it is. But if something really did happen, buddy, like, those 2 games aren't the worst thing. So Michigan's AD, he's on the college football playoff committee, and he was supposed to go to Texas or wherever they do their thingy. I'm pretty sure it's in Texas, and he was supposed to, like, help with the selection committee. He was like, nah, some really concerning shit back home, so I gotta stay in Michigan. We gotta figure this out. Again, I don't think you're around in the you're closing doors and you're getting everybody in line if nothing happens. So I think something happened, and they just need to do a precautionary hit them.
Fucking figure it out.
And then after the precautionary, do a full-length investigation. And if there's smoke, there's fire. And if there's actual fire, hit them with it.
There's just gonna be a lot of finger pointing. There's gonna be a lot going back and forth.
I don't care when. Boo. Still, it's cheating ass niggas.
Speaking of other hot topics in football,
CJ Stroud.
Hold on. I watched that game. That was masterful.
But we're talking about Ohio State.
No.
Ladies and gentlemen.
We need to get back
so many Ohio State fans put slander on that man. And he was a great quarterback for this team. He did a lot of great things. Yeah, he didn't beat Michigan.
It was funny how this all played out. Did you see the end of the game, Tyler?
Yes.
So is like, okay,
they went down.
They got to stop, and then Baker Mayfield was going down the field. They score a touchdown. There's like 42 seconds left or something like that.
46.
And I was joking around with the people around me like, they left too much time on the clock for CJ Stroud. And lo and behold,
they did.
Lo and behold, 2 passes to Tank Dell later, and they in the red zone with 20 seconds left. Everybody blinked. They're like, "Oh my God, what happened?" Tyler, what did I say?
Dog demon.
What did I say in the beginning of the season? Who was going to be the rookie of the year?
He probably locked that up.
CJ.
He most definitely locked that up. That is.
Which
Listen,
right.
ladies and gentlemen, I'm not gonna lie to you. I legit the Saints game just ended, and I was like, fuck it. Like, I was looking. I was like,
It was the game that came on right after the Browns game was over
I would
because
say
they
for,
had like a gap in television.
I would say for me, I was using a legal streaming site, so it was
No, he wasn't.
maybe. So again,
Allegedly.
So again,
Just kidding. It's a parody.
I was like, all right, timeout. Which game do I want to go to? Because I was like, I can either go to the Minnesota game, not the Minnesota. I can either go the Minnesota Atlanta game.
Crazy game.
I was
Josh Dobbs went off right after their backup quarterback
he got hurt in like the
concussion,
first quarter,
and then he just exploded. Like,
so I was like, do I go watch the Minnesota game because that game was tight, or do I go watch the Tampa game? Again, Saints fan. I hope both of these niggas lose. So I was like, nah, fuck it. I go because Baker, CJ. I'm gonna go watch the.
Tyler,
the Texans game.
I was thinking about you when Baker Mayfield was coming down the field. I was like, Tyler's gonna be so angry if this motherfucker goes down the field and wins the game.
No. I was gonna be angry only because I had the Texans defense that week in fantasy. Jesus Christ, that was a fucking mistake.
Yeah, I went up against Amari Cooper.
So very, very, very upset. Mark, that's not all you went up against. A lot of people on that team bashed your head in. Amari wasn't the only one.
Yeah,
like, a lot of people.
Amari Cooper just put the last dirt on top of my casket.
No, Amari, I ain't gonna lie to you. Joe Burrow put Joe Burrow and T. Higgins. I think it was Joe Burrow. No,
I also left a lot of points on the bench. I was contemplating
playing.
Point? There was a lot of points on my bench.
1 point.
Deontay Johnson almost scored 20 points. I could have played him.
No, he bugging. Don't let him lie to you guys.
Hold on, I'll bring it up right now. No, because now you're about
like
to drag me through the dirt.
He had one person on the bench that was doing something.
No, there was 3 guys on my bench that scored double digits.
Bring it up.
I'm bringing it up. My team match up. So Aaron Jones scored 17 points. Deontay Johnson scored 22 points, and Najee scored 15. And if I would have put them in, it would have been a close game.
You would have still lost.
I would have lost narrowly.
Ladies and gentlemen, he would have lost narrowly. I would have won my game if I would have put my people in on my bench. That would have been.
You lost too?
I did lose.
Wow.
Mark, that's okay. I'm okay with losing. Mark.
I'm okay with losing too.
Playoffs.
I'm
playoffs. Fine. No, you're not.
I'm fine.
Playoffs. Me. Playoff.
What are you talking about? I'm number 5.
You're out of the playoffs. Playoffs top 4.
I don't think so. I think it's
playoffs top 4. I'm telling you. Playoffs top 4. I was just looking at 5th. It.
I'm tied for.
That's crazy.
Because there's a tie for 3rd.
Dogs. Hey, listen, my team's gonna be fine. I'm rectifying everything. I ain't worried.
Do you know what game dominated social media, Tyler? Eagles, Cowboys.
Oh, I thought you were gonna go Browns. I thought you were gonna say the Browns.
No, that game didn't dominate social media. We're gonna do the Browns. We'll get there, but.
Yeah, I gotta talk about the AFC North. This shit is ghetto.
Yeah, we're gonna get there. I promise.
Ghetto, bro. Oh my god, I hate
AFC East showdown. What did I tell you? Eagles, Cowboys.
Barely won.
Eagles, Cowboys.
Them niggas barely won.
I told you it wasn't gonna be a slaughter. It was gonna be a close game.
Them niggas barely won.
So the Cowboys fans, I think it's funny that that tight end that was down short, and they're like, oh, we got robbed. Like, guys, you don't see his knee down before the ball crosses the plane, and then we're on the half-yard line, and your so-called elite defensive line couldn't get a TFL for a half a yard. What is wrong with you guys?
There's a lot. That was a sad game.
Dak Prescott got flipped on his head.
Yeah.
Like, it was just, I was just eating all the Cowboys fans' reels because they were shit posting the entire game. Oh, we're coming back. Oh, we're in the red zone again. Ha 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 ha.
I think that was a really good game.
It was a good game.
I think if you're the Eagles, there are a lot of things you gotta fix because this shit is not. This shit is not looking amazing.
Kevin Byard showed up in his first game. I think the Eagles did exactly what I thought they were going to do. It's going to be hard to shut down CeeDee Lamb. He got his, but didn't score a touchdown.
But he hasn't been scoring a lot of touchdowns like in his career. He hasn't scored a lot of touchdowns.
The run game suffered.
They didn't run the ball.
Because they couldn't. What were they going to do? Oh, no. Let's hand the ball off to Jalen Carter, I guess.
I feel like they did not try enough to run the ball. And that's probably
because you got Fletch, Jalen Carter sitting in the middle just waiting for you.
I don't think it was that. I think that they just didn't like. I think it was just more they got in their head of no, we just gotta throw.
They saw we were like we can't deal with that much ham in the middle. That's too much meat.
I don't think it was that at all.
So they cut that out of the game plan.
No, I don't.
Mike
think
McCarthy froze up.
I say that, but it wasn't because there's too much.
I think it was the wrong game plan. You still got to attempt to run the football at least because a team like the Eagles, the way you beat them is through like play actions and stuff because they take pride in stopping the run. So sometimes they run commit. Their corners aren't the greatest either. So
they have great corners. James Bradbury and Darius Slay, not great corners.
It's not the greatest secondary.
You can the only better corner duo in the league is
the Browns.
No.
The Browns have a better duo.
No.
Yes.
Paulson Debo and Marshawn. Yeah, look at the numbers.
I'm an Eagles fan. Darius
Look
Slay
at the numbers.
and James Bradbury are not better than Denzel Ward and Newsome.
I think they're
not.
Same level.
No.
Same
because
level.
Darius Slay doesn't play to the level of Denzel Ward. He doesn't.
I disagree with that completely.
He's a fine corner. He's a fine corner. I will put him in the A tier of corners, but Denzel Ward's an S tier corner.
Wow.
He's an S tier corner.
That's crazy to say. And you think Bradbury is
I think he's like a low A to high B tier corner. He's a very good corner.
You think Martin Emerson's an A tier corner?
No, I said Newsome.
Newsome's a slot.
I think Emerson is a high B tier. I would put him on the same level as Bradbury.
I don't think Newsome's an A tier or high B tier corner either.
You don't think Emerson's a high B tier corner?
I think Emerson's a mid B tier corner.
I think that Denzel Ward is much better than Darius Slay, and I think it's a toss-up between either Emerson or Newsome and Bradbury, honestly. That's why I give the edge to the Browns.
It don't matter because the Saints have the better corner duo, so I ain't worried about it.
Anyways,
Paulson Debo, 5 picks.
So speaking
picks,
of the Cowboys fans
and a
shit
fumble.
posting, we gotta talk about the Cowboys fan who's always on national television, Tyler.
He wasn't upset.
He cut a promo. He said, "Ain't nobody got firepower like my team, like my team."
I love
elite.
I love him.
He
so
called
much.
them elite. I can't wait to see what jersey he throws away in the garbage. Who's he throwing away, Tyler?
Probably
another
Dak. Probably
he already
Dak.
threw away Dak Prescott.
He
you
probably
me he pulled it out of the garbage?
Probably bought a new one. But no, I think that if you're looking at it, I think that the NFC is gonna come. I think it's gonna be a tight race. You have the Seahawks with 3 losses.
It's gonna be the Cowboys. Right there too. Honestly, like I'm an Eagles fan, but the Cowboys are gonna be right there. They're gonna be that like 10-11 win wild card spot because the Eagles take the East.
So it's kind of funny. The Cowboys second in the NFC East. Cowboys currently,
especially since there's nobody in the division anymore.
Cowboys 5-3, 4-5 are the Commanders. The Commanders are playing good ball.
The Commanders are always playing good ball.
The Sam Howell is like, for some reason, like he's doing a really good job. Not
he's
the best
the ball
job,
to Scary Terry,
but he's doing a really good job. 49ers at 5-3, Seahawks 5-3, Lions 6-2.
Oh wait, this is a division standings?
No, these are So NFC East, Eagles number 1 at 8-1, Cowboys second 5-3. NFC West, Niners are leading. They're at 5-3. They're tied for first with the Seahawks at 5-3. Lions lead the NFC North at 6-2. Vikings second at 5-4. Saints lead the NFC South 5-4. Falcons 4-5.
I mean, it's gonna be a dogfight in the NFC for the 2 and the 3 seed.
I agree. Like right now, Detroit technically has the second seed, but
now the Eagles have a comfortable lead for the 1 seed, so it's gonna be really hard to reel them in.
I think one, you have to play the Niners. I don't think the Niners are a team you can just blow by. I think the Niners could probably knock them off, especially with the addition of Chase Young.
No, I'm just talking about jockeying for position. I'm not talking about playoff brackets or nothing. So like, I feel like it's gonna be really hard for the 49ers to catch up to the, like, break off three games and pass the Eagles for the 1 seed. To me, I'm looking at, the Lions, the 49ers, the Seahawks, and the Saints jockeying for the 2 and the 3 seed. That's going to be a intense fight for the entire season.
So right now, the Eagles have to play the Cowboys in Dallas again.
One more time, but that game's not enough to pass the Eagles.
But the Eagles do have to play the Chiefs. They have to play the Bills. They have to play the Niners.
Those ain't doing nothing.
They have to play the Cowboys, and they have to play the Seahawks.
The Chiefs are winning football games like we've never seen them before.
Yeah.
Doing that, winning games with their defense, offense struggling. It's very similar in the way that the Browns had to win games with
the
like
entire season.
Yeah. So
except for one game.
I think
2 games now.
I don't think the Eagles are going to get overpowered by a Chiefs defense. I just don't see that happening. The Chiefs defense is playing out of their minds lately, but I just think the Eagles' run game is too tough, and then they don't have the corners to guard A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith. Who's going to guard them?
I think the Chiefs and the Bills both beat the Eagles.
No.
You're gonna get a 6-3 Eagles.
I think the Eagles
team.
go 2-0, and then they lose to the Niners.
Nah, I think that.
I think the only other losses, they lose to the Niners, they lose to the Cowboys in Dallas. The Seahawks game is going to be tough. But, I mean, other than that, you play the Giants twice. You got the Cardinals. I mean, it's cupcake from here on out. Besides this 3-game stretch.
The next 4 is really the next 5 are going to be.
If they sweep the Cowboys,
the next 5 are going to be really tough because, again, if you drop 2 of these next, let's say you drop 3 of the next 5.
I think you're most definitely beating the Bills. The Bills' defense is not stopping the Eagles' offense from going down the field.
But it's not even about their offense. It's not even about the Bills' defense. It's more about the Bills' offense. Can the Bills' offense really put pressure on you? Because again, they don't run. They don't run the ball.
Yeah,
they
but
can't
the Eagles
run the
get
ball.
home on the pass rush. They have a good enough.
But the Bills,
they have a good enough
is,
secondary to where I don't think they're going to get separation fast enough for Josh Allen to get the ball out comfortably. So Josh Allen's going to be running the ball in the pocket, scrambling, running for 5-6 yards, and not doing much.
Look what Sam Howell did against this Eagles defense. They were knocking on the door.
That's a well-coached team. I gotta give them props.
Well-coached team, but
if only
Bills
the Commanders could
coached.
Draft.
Bills can draft. They drafted well.
They drafted
well.
They don't draft quarterbacks. If only they had a quarterback on their roster. Are you kidding me, Tyler? This team would be nuts.
I think that we could be possibly looking at Eagles little losing streak. I think that it's very possible that they lose to the Chiefs. I think it's possible they lose to the Bills.
They're not losing to the Bills.
I think they can.
The Chiefs, I'll give you, because the Chiefs are grinding out wins and they're winning in different ways. Also, it's Patrick Mahomes. You're going to give him a fighter's chance in any game, no matter who's around him.
Also, I think they probably lose to the Cowboys Seahawks. I think that.
You think they're going to lose 5 games in a row?
No, I think they lose.
You think they're going to lose? You just said you think they're going to lose to the Seahawks,
Chiefs,
the
Bills,
Cowboys, and the Bills and the Chiefs.
There's a win in there. They beat the Niners.
So you think they're going to lose 4 of the next 5?
I think it's very possible they lose 4 of the next 5.
No, this is the best team in football. They might lose 2.
I wouldn't say
3.
best team in football.
They're the best team in football.
The best team in football resides in Beemore. the Baltimore,
No.
the Ravens. Actually, talking about the Ravens, the AFC North is extremely ghetto. It is not fair. We have to play in this fucking division. It is wrong. If I'm the Cleveland Browns, if I'm Jimmy Haslam, I'm petitioning to be removed. I don't want to play here no more. This is not fair.
We created 3 franchises in this godforsaken fucking division.
Ladies and gentlemen, I don't want to play here no more. I need a switch. If I'm Jimmy Haslam, I want a team in Toronto, and I want to play.
Oh, hold up! No, shut the fuck up.
No, listen. Let me get through.
No,
let me get through.
because you're moving a team out of Cleveland now. Fuck you.
No, I'm not moving a team out of Cleveland.
Shut the. No, you moving a team out of Cleveland.
We're adding a team to Canada. Canada's gonna get their own team, and we might as well give San Diego a team back. We give
Tyler,
Portland
you're not making
a team,
any sense.
and we're gonna give St. Louis a team.
Those twinks don't like football.
Shush. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna create these 4 new franchises, and because Toronto and Cleveland are not that far apart, we're gonna have like the Browns, the new Toronto team, the Lions, and maybe Indy or Cincy in this new division that we created. And we're no longer playing Pittsburgh and or Baltimore no more. We're done with it. We're not doing it no more. This is ghetto. It is not fair to us.
I think it's weird that the Colts play in the AFC South.
It is weird. We should be playing the Colts. That should be us. This is ass. I hate this. This is nasty. It's so ghetto.
We can talk about the Browns, though.
This is nasty.
The Browns have a very friendly schedule coming up here. We just wiped the floor with the Cardinals.
Semi-friendly.
No, I'd say it's friendly.
Semi-friendly.
I think you're going to beat Pittsburgh. I think the Ravens are going to be a tough game. If you lose that game and get destroyed, I'll be worried. But if you lose that game and look okay, because my thing is, I just want Deshaun to get back up to speed. A lot of people were saying, he looked like a guy who hasn't played football in a month, and I kind of agree with that. He did flash. It looks like, his shoulder strength is back. So we're back on Deshaun watch. That defense looks dynamite. They pitched a shutout for the first time since, before the recession, 2006. I mean, it's not every day that, we take for granted shutouts. Shutouts don't happen even with some of the greatest teams in NFL history.
I don't know. The Saints pitched shutout last year, and they pitched a shutout this year. So
Tyler, I'm just saying you shouldn't take them for granted. Even statistically the best defense in the NFL every single year doesn't pitch a shutout.
I don't know. I've been watching dogs pitch shutouts for multiple years now. Them niggas in New Orleans have been pitching. Listen, the COVID year, that one game should have been a shutout. They got 3 points. I think if you only make a field goal and it's a late field goal, you pitch a shutout.
No,
that's a shutout game.
Dumb.
No, that's a
shutout. They kicked the field goal and made it.
No, that's
not
a
a
shutout.
shutout.
That's a shutout.
Tyler, do you know what the definition of a shutout is?
I know the definition of shutout.
It's nothing. Zero.
What's the pitchers don't be out here pitching no hitters, but
they do.
No, they don't.
No, they don't be out here pitching perfect games, but they pitch no hitters.
Okay. So guess what? Someone did something, but the no hitter. Someone hit something. No, get out of here. So again,
no hitters happen way more often than shutouts in NFL football.
No, the niggas in New Orleans have been pitching shutouts for about 2 years now.
Tyler,
they had at least one shutout each year.
There's double-digit no-hitters pitched in the MLB.
I don't care. It don't matter. Dogs. Real dogs. The Browns are also dogs, but not this week. I think the Browns lose to the Ravens. It's kind of sad because be more
wholeheartedly disagree with you.
Them niggas are some
we have the better
dogs
defense.
With wings.
I don't care what you say. We have the better secondary. We got more dogs in the line. I'll give them the edge at linebacker, but everywhere else on the field, we got the edge.
We don't have better corners.
We have better corners. We have better safeties.
No, we don't.
Yes, we do.
Don't.
Yes, we do.
How many picks?
We just don't have Roquan Smith.
How many picks?
I don't care about picks.
See, that's crazy. See, that's a crazy
I care about
thing.
yards given up. I care about touchdowns.
So the Ravens also, how do you say this? Because Jim Schwartz, the biggest thing that they talk about all the time on the broadcast are how Jim Schwartz, he doesn't really care about turnover. He more cares about the fact that
positions.
no big plays. The Ravens are getting picks, they're getting turnovers, and they're not letting big plays happen. No, except for the teams that they're kind of playing down to their competition. as in with the Colts game and with the
No, you can't
with
make
the Steelers
excuses.
Mark,
No.
the Browns lost to the Steelers. The Browns.
Okay.
The Browns
But that's because
the Browns lost to the Seahawks.
T.J. Watt got a defensive touchdown.
Mark, the Browns lost to the Seahawks. The Ravens pretty much pitched a shutout against the
No,
Seahawks.
you can't say shutout. They scored points.
I said pretty much. I didn't say they scored 3. Then they played the Detroit Lions and decimated a good team, not a bad team, a good team. Put them niggas on their necks. So again, this whole thing of
they don't got Myles Garrett.
Mark, they don't need Myles Garrett.
Their pass rush
Gets
doesn't
home.
impress me.
They have more sacks than us.
I don't care.
Mark, you okay? Everything
care.
you're saying you don't care about,
Our defense is going to outperform them on Sunday.
Mark, everything you saying you don't care about is one. Their defense is overall better than our defense. That is
No, it's
ranked.
not.
Yes, it is.
No, it's not.
PFFF.
We're still ranked number 1.
No, we're not. By who? What year? When was the last?
Through
time
week
this was
9.
updated?
Through week 9. This is current.
Mark, so you've allowed more touchdowns.
7 more touchdowns and 30 less yards. 28 less yards.
And you allowed 7 more touchdowns. So again, the Raven defense is the best defense in football.
No, it's the Browns.
It's by every metric.
If they didn't have Roquan Smith on that team, they would be a regular ass defense.
No, they were doing this last year. They were doing this 2 years ago without Roquan. So no, that's actually false.
That's because they had Calais Campbell.
Mark, he wasn't doing anything. Calais wasn't the focal point of that defense. Calais wasn't really disrupting anything. It was their edges, and it's because the defense is just dogs.
Defensive stats.
The Ravens are dogs with wings. Like that's all I can say. They're dogs with wings, and it's nasty. I do think the Browns dropped this game.
I think they're going to lose it by a small margin.
I think the Browns lose this game about 2 touchdowns.
Tyler, every time you say that, it's going to be exactly what I think it is. It's going to be a sticky, icky, gooey AFC North football game. No. Motherfuckers are going to be running the ball. It's going to be cold, windy, bad weather.
The first Ravens game, we lost 28-3. And you said that was going to be a sticky game.
That was with a third-string quarterback. No.
Second string.
No. You can't.
No. You said that was going to be a. You said
no. He's our third-string quarterback.
Mark, did you not?
He's
say,
our third-string.
But what about the defense though? What about the defense?
Tyler,
the defense got 28 put on them.
28 points.
No,
I
don't want to
hear.
I don't want to hear.
28 points is not an impressive game. That's
Mark,
basically normal in the NFL.
Mark,
at this point.
27 points. That was a good game, all right? Browns got.
Honestly, the defense played good with the hands that they were dealt.
The only thing that this team has done, the only thing the Ravens have done since almost pretty much shutting out the Browns, they have allowed.
They didn't shut out the Browns.
I said almost. I didn't say they did. I said almost.
What did we do, Tyler? We scored points. I think your definition of turnovers, Jay.
Again, what I think is happening is against teams that aren't really good, the Ravens play down. But against teams that are really, really good, they put their necks on. They put their feet on those teams' necks, and they don't let them breathe. They do not let them breathe. They don't give them no room to breathe. Because if you look except for the Bengals game early on, any team that they have played that's been of any kind of like anything, they beat them by a touchdown or more.
The Ravens secondary.
Rocky Sin, Marlon Humphrey, Geno Stone, and I think Marcus Williams.
They rank
and
towards the bottom of the league.
And what's his name?
This is a bottom 10 defensive effort as far as the pass game goes.
Mark, I know what you're looking at, and you shouldn't look at that because they don't rank them. They don't rank them in order.
What are you talking about?
They don't rank them in order. I look at this.
This is alphabetical order.
Yes. So again, as I said, you should not use them because they do not rank those teams in order. So again, I just by glancing over, I knew what you were looking at.
Hold on.
They were not no. So again, the Ravens are the best defense in football right now. In NFL football, this is the best defense. And when they've played good competition, like competition that should give them challenges, They have put their feet on these niggas' necks and have not let them breathe.
I'm taking the under on this game. There's going to be like 40 points scored tops.
That's cool. And they're going to score about
you think
30 of those points.
You think no.
It's going to be south of 40, but 30 of those points are going to be on Baltimore's side.
The Browns will probably narrowly lose this game like 17-14, something like that. Justin Tucker's going to win them another game. That's what's going to happen.
Justin Tucker has won them like one game.
He's won them 3 games.
No,
actually.
one.
This year he's won them 3 games.
He's won them 1. And the one game he's won them is, I'm pretty sure, like
one game he was their
Colts.
entire offensive output.
Not the Colts, but I'm pretty sure he won them the trying to think of the game, trying to see the game. Pretty sure he won them the
Let's see. He
Titans
won them
game.
the Titans game. He was 6 for 6. He was their entire offensive output.
That's one game.
What was the score to the Seattle game?
Decimated. They only scored 37-3. So there's this whole thing of, Justin Tucker's winning them games. You're a salty.
Wins them
you're a
games every
salty
year.
Browns fan.
No, Justin
who's
Tucker
never
wins
had a
them
good.
games.
No,
every
you're
year.
a salty Browns
Justin
fan
Tucker's
who's never
win
had
this game on a game-winning field goal.
Mark, you're a
and we're all gonna
salty
sulk.
Browns fan who's never had a good kicker.
You're just a Lamar Jackson dick sucker.
No, you're a salty
You're a
Browns
dick
fan
sucker.
who's never had a good kicker.
No.
And legit, the whole point of
We
the
have
whole
a
point
good
of
kicker,
a game
first of all, and second
this
of all,
year.
the
This year
Browns
you had
defense is going
a
to
good
play them
kicker.
tough, and they're not going to score more than 20 points. I'm telling you right now.
Mark, you said that about the first game, and they scored 28.
Tyler, the defense played great. If they didn't play almost
Mark,
80 snaps,
they clearly didn't.
They
play
would
great.
have had
they
a
got
great
3
game.
touchdowns. They got 3 touchdowns put on.
Tyler,
them.
they would have had a great game.
I think they had 4 touchdowns.
If they didn't
put on
have
them.
70-plus snaps on the field,
Mark, it don't matter.
it does matter.
It does not.
When your defense is on the field for more than 70 snaps, statistically, that defense is going to break.
So again, as I was saying,
So
I'm not
third-string quarterback.
That's an excuse.
No.
That's an excuse.
No, it's not. That's a fact.
That is
That's
actually
a
an
statistical
excuse.
fact.
Okay, yes, facts can be excuses. That's an excuse. You just use an excuse. You're telling me don't use excuses. That's an excuse to sit here and say, oh, they were out on the field they were out on the field for a long time. All right, cool. Stop them. Do something. You were out on the field for against the 49ers.
Stops. They were getting stops.
Against the 49ers, they were out on the field just as much as the Ravens game.
Yeah.
And guess what?
The
They
49ers
won the
don't
game,
have
didn't
even
they?
close to an offense that the
Okay,
Ravens do.
cool.
Not even close.
So again, the Ravens have offense, Mark, because you've been slandering the Ravens.
Yeah,
and the
they have
Ravens
great
are
run
a
game.
good team.
They have a great run game.
Mark, it's not even.
They have the best run game in the
Mark,
NFL.
it's not even the run game. They're
It
not
is
even
the
running.
run game.
It's not the run game.
They're the
because
number
not
one
running.
run offense in the NFL.
No, they're not.
Yes, they are.
No, they're not.
Yes, they are.
They
They're the
aren't.
number one rushing offense in the NFL.
They aren't.
Look it up right now.
Mark, I don't
They're the
need
number
to.
one rushing
Mark, I don't
offense in
need
the
to.
NFL.
They're top 5.
They're
yes.
the number one
But
rushing
Mark,
offense in the
they
NFL.
also a top 5 passing offense.
No, they're not.
Yes, they are. They're one of the. Lamar Jackson is. I think he leads the league in completion percentage.
Yeah, because he has a great coach.
Mark, that doesn't make sense.
The Dolphins
What
have
is
the
the
best
coach?
passing offense in the league.
Mark, what does that have to do? Mark, what does that have to do? What does his coach have to do with the fact that he has the highest completion percentage in the league?
The offensive coordinator is the one who fucking schemes the shit wide open, Tyler.
He's not throwing wide open passes.
Like the games where he goes like 20 for 21 and shit like that, like those are games where he was throwing to wide open receivers. Don't get me wrong, Lamar Jackson has a good sense this year, and the beginning or end of last year he started to show that he really has this arm talent and he can throw dimes. Don't get me wrong.
So Mark, hold on. So you said you just said that the games to where he throws pretty good. 15 for 19 for 186 against the Browns, 2 TDs. And the Mark Andrews touchdown, that was not that wasn't
Are you
wide
talking about
open.
week 4? Are you talking about him playing on the short field the entire game because we couldn't move the football?
He didn't play on the short field. That Mark Andrews,
He played on a short field.
The
one touchdown where they had to drive the length of the field. Yes, Tyler.
He threw a dot.
And where did
through
the
a
other
window.
touchdowns come from?
Mark.
They came from short field because the Browns threw a pick or fumbled because DTR had his first NFL game and they started at the 15 fucking yard line.
Mark, you're wrong. I hate.
That's a
I hate,
fact.
No, it's not a fact though.
He only drove the length of the field one time.
No, he did it twice.
No, he didn't.
He did.
No,
on their
he
opening
didn't.
drive, they went the length of
Okay,
the field.
Tyler, twice
They
out of how
scored.
many series?
Mark,
That's
so,
only 14
so why
points
are
that you
why are
actually had to earn.
So you're sitting here and you're blaming him for having a good defense? It's his fault that his defense is
No,
good.
it's not because his defense is good. It's because he was playing a third-string quarterback.
So what about all these other games where he's playing good defenses, he's playing good teams, and he's decimating them, murdering
because
them?
they don't have a Browns defense to go up against. Yes, you're completely right.
So
he's
Mark,
murdering them.
so if he goes out, puts up 30 points on the Browns,
then I'll shut the fuck up.
No, you won't.
No, I'll
You
shut the fuck
actually
up.
won't. You
He's not
actually
going to
won't.
come out here and just beat the Browns straight up and put 30 points on our heads like that and us just not retaliate. You're smoking dicks on that, Tyler.
No, I'm not. Like, again, the trend.
There's not even there
the
might
trend
not
is
even
there.
be 30 points scored in this game. They're barely.
35. Listen, you just said
It's going to
you
be
said south
14
of-
to 17.
You said south of 40. I don't think that's
It's
crazy.
going to be 14 to 17.
I don't think that's
Ravens.
crazy to say south of 40, but I think that if south of 40, I think majority of those points are scored by the Ravens. I think the Ravens really, again,
No.
what has
They
what
don't have the firepower.
Yes, Mark,
No, they
they
don't.
don't have the firepower.
They don't.
Mark, the weakest part of this Browns team is their secondary. Their secondary is extremely weak.
Okay.
The coach showed that.
So what do you think?
The-
Zay Flowers is just all of a sudden going to gain yards against us like he did week 4?
Yes, actually.
Oh no, because he didn't gain yards in week 4.
Okay, that's fine.
He had one catch for 4 yards.
That's fine. That's cool. He did that.
That's going to
week
happen
4.
exactly
But
the
this-
same again.
That's not again.
The only place where they can actually throw the football is to Mark Andrews.
Mark, I think you're being a very salty Browns fan, and
No,
you're not looking
I'm
at the
s-
facts.
I'm
when the
stating
Ravens
the fact
when
that
the Ravens have
the-
played good teams, they have put their necks on
But
these.
they're not
they have
playing
put these-
special defenses like the Browns defense. The Browns defense
don't
is
need it.
special.
Special. They're cool.
They're the best defense in the league.
They're not the best defense.
They had
in
to
the league.
deal with carrying a third-string quarterback for one game and a second-string quarterback 3 more games.
Okay, that's nice. The Niners have been carried a third-string quarterback the entire year.
I wouldn't say Brock.
He's
Brock
a
Purdy's
third-string quarterback. He's a third-string quarterback. It's fine to say.
No, you're being an asshole for that.
No, he's a
you're just
third-string
being a
quarterback.
Saints Dick Rider for that.
How's that anything to do with the Saints?
No, because he's in the NFC. So you
I
shit
don't
post.
care.
No, you shit post about NFC teams all the time.
I don't. Where do I post anything?
No, you.
Where do I post anything?
Why do you think Brock Purdy's a third-string quarterback?
Because he is. How do you say this? Jimmy Garoppolo's a third-string quarterback. There are system quarterbacks that when the system goes right, they can do everything perfectly.
No, Jimmy
But when the
Garoppolo's
system-
a backup. I wouldn't say he's a third-string quarterback.
Jimmy Garoppolo's in the system. It's better than Brock Purdy in the system.
No,
Yes.
you have to play football to be better.
Mark, and when he's played football at Super Bowl, at NFC, and 2 NFC championship games, what are we talking about?
Okay.
That's not just something you can shrug your shoulders at. Like, legitimately, Brock Purdy has not done that. Brock Purdy can't do that.
Brock Purdy
is
has
a
the same
downgrade
win
from-
streak that Jimmy Garoppolo had when he went to the Niners. The same win streak.
Jimmy's never been on this type of losing streak.
No, Jimmy Garoppolo, when
He's
he
never
got
been on this
traded
type of
to the
winning streak.
49ers, won 10 straight regular season games in a row. Look it up.
I don't need to. I understand that.
He won 10 straight games. I believe ever since
Brock is what went on a
Brock
9
Purdy
game.
won every single game except for the game against the Eagles. But he won every single regular season game that he played last year. And then they were, 5-0, and then they've dropped 3 straight?
Yeah.
I think
Because
he's
Brock's
he's
not
like 8-0
good.
or something.
Brock Purdy he's not 8-0, he's 8-3.
No, he started,
Oh, he started
Yeah.
8-0.
yeah, until the Browns beat him.
I think
I think if we implement a similar game plan to what we did against the 49ers,
you can't
we'll
do
be
that.
okay.
You
Because
can't do that.
their offensive strength is the same.
And what's that?
Their run game is the best part of their offense.
Yeah.
They have a phenomenal tight end, and they just
Yeah,
get it
this
to those
nigga-
guys.
Yeah, this nigga's stupid. I'm sorry, guys. He not smart.
Okay. So what
not
is
smart.
what is the Ravens' game plan against the Browns?
Air it out. Their
Air it out.
secondary's weak. I don't think Newsom's gonna be back. Was he? I don't think he played this past game. He was
No,
hurt.
they played Mitchell.
So I think if you're looking at it,
I don't think he needed to play.
I don't know if Newsom. I feel like Newsom should be back for this
It's
game.
like a groin injury or something, right?
That or like his knee or something. I think if you're looking at it, I think if Newsom is out there, I think the game plan is still the same. Target these corners. As good as Martin Emerson has played this year, Martin Emerson
he's the weakest
is
link in the secondary.
Martin Emerson is also going to get he can
He's
get
gonna
you
get-
one. He's gonna get you one, but he's that Trayvon Diggs, and I can get you one, but I'm gonna give up.
No,
one.
he's not a Trayvon Diggs.
No, he's Mark.
He's not. Trayvon Diggs is
Seattle game. Old buddy
he'll give
gave
up a big play or two.
gave up a huge play, and then he came back. He made up for that play. The very next play he got a pick.
Mm-hmm.
Again, he's gonna give you one, but he gonna
that's
give
DK
you.
Metcalf.
But
They
he
don't have
also
a
gonna give you
DK
up
Metcalf on the team.
You're right. They
They
just
don't have a DK Metcalf. They don't have a Tyler Lockett on the team.
They just have Odell Beckham.
They have.
They just have Odell Beckham. Like, I'm sorry. Like, I'm so like if you bring the safeties down, if the safeties aren't playing back on one of these on one of these drives, and it's just Newsom, and it's just not Newsom, but it's just Emerson and Odell. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry because he may get done dirty, and
No, I don't think. I think if anything, Denzel Ward's probably going to be on Odell.
But they don't travel. They typically this year what the Browns have done.
But I think
Denzel's
the Ravens
been
are
on
going to
this
try.
side.
I think the Ravens are going to try and, kind of break free Zay Flowers because he has that big play potential.
Put him in the slot. Especially if Newsom isn't playing, you put him in the slot, and he's crafty and he's smart enough. He's very smart enough to get through, sit down. He's very good at sitting down in the zones and waiting for the ball where he should be. Again, I think this Ravens team is a really good team. I think the Ravens. I'm kind of sick because if you've been watching this for a while, you know that the very first episode, I pretty much sat down. I thought like the Ravens were going to win. I thought the Ravens were going to lose about 2, maybe 3 games the entire year, and right now they only have 2 losses. Right now, if you're
Odell Beckham's not having a good season.
He's not having an amazing season. You're 100% correct.
Like the last game, he's gotten.
He hasn't got a lot of yards.
He,
But again, that's just because
the past 3 games. Let's see. Hold on.
to be fair, a lot of that is because Zay Flowers is amazing. Zay Flowers is a great receiver in the slot. Nelson Aguilar is having his best. Nelson Aguilar is like no one's really talking about it, but Nelson
He's a
Aguilar
very good receiver.
is like having his best year since he was with the Eagles. And I think that was like their Super Bowl year.
Yeah,
Like, he's
and in that year
actually
he had a
playing-
dropping problem, so it wasn't even his best season.
No, it was a year after. It was a year after he had a dropping problem.
He's always had a dropping problem.
But he's
People
not.
are-
He's not really dropping shit in Baltimore. And
No, he hasn't. He didn't drop shit in Vegas either.
was he in Vegas?
He was in Vegas. Well, no, he was in. I think it was technically Oakland at the time.
Oh. But I was to say, I think that if you look at it, I think the Ravens are really good. If
It's
you're the
gonna be a
Ravens
close game.
this
I
year,
don't see it being a.
I think it's a
I think
blowout.
Deshaun is going to have a better game than he had last week. Honestly,
I wish I could say that because I'm a Browns fan.
I think
want them to be great.
Stefanski's crafty enough to. He's always going to get guys open. It's just Deshaun getting the ball to them.
I don't believe that. I don't think Stefanski's that good that he can get guys open. If guys can't get open,
He's
guys can't
consistently gotten guys open. Odell Beckham's dad has consistently shown us he can scheme guys open no matter what.
I think Stefanski is going to get outcoached as he has been done by John
He
Harbaugh.
does. He does get outcoached in division games. He gets outcoached by Mike Tomlin and Harbaugh consistently.
If you're the Ravens, I think this week more than any week that you will play is the most like pivotal week. So they play us Sunday.
They have to bury the
Also,
Browns.
NFL, flex this game. Make sure you clip this up. NFL, you should flex this game. I don't know what the Sunday night game is this week, but it's garbage. It does not matter. It's not a good game. Flex this game. There's no reason
We're
why.
playing at 1:00.
This should not be a 1 o'clock game.
It shouldn't be.
This should
This
be
should
an
be
8
prime
o'clock.
time.
This should be an 8 o'clock game, if
prime
not a
time.
4 o'clock game. There's no reason why the Browns are playing the Ravens.
I don't think they want Deshaun Watson to be on prime time though.
I don't give a fuck what they gave us a Monday night game. I disagree with that. They gave
No,
us a
because
Monday night game.
everybody that's not complete ass gets a primetime game, Tyler.
So hold on.
But they're not going to give, even if the Browns are extremely good this year and next year, I don't see them giving the Browns more than a few.
Ladies and
primetime
gentlemen,
games.
the Monday night game for that week is Jets Raiders.
Who wants to watch that?
Hey, put the Browns there. Like, flex that. Like, no, like, dead ass. Like, you got to flex that. There's no reason why. Again, I get it. If Aaron Rodgers was there, I get it.
What's TNF?
TNF, Thursday night. Thursday night is Panthers Bears.
Who the fuck is watching that? That's another thing that got passed around the internet. Is this week has got a lot of really terrible games.
Ladies and gentlemen, you gotta flex that Browns Ravens game. There's no reason.
What's Sunday night football?
Sunday night football is Jets Raiders.
That's bad.
Monday night is Broncos Bills.
Who the fuck? Oh, well, maybe. I don't know. I think the Broncos are getting overly excited.
Ladies and gentlemen, and then the 4 o'clock, the 4:25 games for this Sunday are
Giants Cowboys. That's going to be a slaughter.
So you have Lions 4:05. One of the four.
Falcons are going to slaughter the Cardinals unless Kyler Murray plays. We don't know that.
Kyler Murray's playing.
Well, I guess they have to put him on the active roster, or they have to put him on IR for the rest of the season.
So Lions Chargers is one of the 4 o'clock games. I think that's going to be a really good game. Falcons Cardinals.
I don't know.
I think that's going to be a really
the Chargers.
Good game.
Every time I think the Chargers are going to have a good game against the team, I watch the game and I get consistently disappointed. Like every time it's like, oh, this is the most boring team in the NFL. Like, it's boring.
Cowboys Giants 4:25, and then Commanders Seahawks. I think Commanders Seahawks is going to be a really good game. But again, you can easily flex that Baltimore Cleveland game to that 4:25 spot where the Giants and Cowboys would have been. Or you just do the right thing and you flex it to the 8 o'clock spot.
All right, Tyler. Closing statements on the Browns Ravens.
Closing statements. I think that this week is a very pivotal week, as I was trying to say before. I think it's a very pivotal week for the Ravens. You have the Browns Sunday, and you have the Bengals. You have the Bengals Thursday night on Thursday Night Football next week. Not this week, but next week. If you're the Ravens, if you can win these next two, I honestly do think you can wrap up the division. The division, you probably clinch division, and you could easily be in that spot to where you don't lose. Like you probably are on the fast track to the first seed. I think the Chiefs. I do think the Chiefs drop one more game this year. I think the Bills are blown out. I think the Bengals are ascending, but I think that the Browns are gonna. As I said, at the beginning of the year, I think the Browns and the Bengals are going to be right there with each other, fighting for that second seed in the division, which will probably be the 5th seed. So,
what's the score of the game?
Browns Ravens. I think
1 o'clock on Sunday.
Flex it. No, they're going to flex it. They're going to flex this game to 8 o'clock. 8 o'clock. I think that this game goes. 24-17.
Okay.
They win by a touchdown.
All right. So I'll give my final thoughts. I think this is huge from a Browns perspective as well, just as much as the Ravens, because we're 1-2 in the division, I believe, right? So if we lose this game, you need to outright be ahead of the Steelers and the Bengals for positioning. I think if we do lose this game and Deshaun looks bad, I think people are going to start panicking.
Don't panic.
I
hope and pray.
I think it's dumb to panic halfway through the season because there's a lot of get right.
We're more than
on
halfway
the schedule.
Through. We're
This
past
is
the halfway point.
Yeah, this is the first game past the halfway point. I think there's plenty of get back on the schedule. So if we lose this game, it's bad
No
for...
time to panic. Don't panic.
You basically kiss the division goodbye, and you need to stay in the wild card hunt and solidify your playoff spot there.
Which shouldn't be hard.
This defense needs to play tough. This is the best rushing offense in the NFL. I think we did get gashed up a little bit during the 49ers game with McCaffrey. So I think a little bit of shutting down the run game. We've done a very good job doing so, but the way that they get their run game going is very similar to the 49ers. If the defense shuts down that run offense and they have to beat us through the air, I think that's the only route that the Browns win this game. That being said, I think it's in Baltimore. It's an AFC North rivalry game. I think the Browns narrowly lose it 14-17. Very low scoring game, not much ball movement, and that's it.
If you're the Browns, you have a very favorable schedule. I think they lose. I also think the Bengals lose Thursday night. I think if you're looking at this,
the Bengals are starting to turn up, though.
They are, but again,
we need to beat the Bengals twice.
Three, if I'm not mistaken, the next, like out of the Ravens' next 4 or next 5.
If you lose to the Ravens, the Steelers game is a must-win. You have to win that game. And I think it's a very winnable game. The Steelers' offense is bad. Their defense is good.
They have a winning record,
but not. It's the defense, dude. They scored their first points in the first quarter last week. Think about that.
So,
the only team in the NFL to not score points in the first quarter to date.
So the Ravens' next 4 games are Browns, they're at home. Bengals, they're at home. Chargers, they're on the road to LA, and they play the Rams at home.
Wow, the Chargers really suck at home, so I think we might win that one.
Oh
no, you're talking about the Ravens.
Yeah,
schedule.
the Ravens, and they have the Rams. They have the Rams at home, and then they're on the road to Jacksonville. They're on the road to San Fran. They get the Dolphins at home, and then they end the season at home against the Steelers. I think that if you you're not you're playing like 2 really good teams. The Jaguars and the Chargers are really good teams. You're playing those two really tough teams.
I'm not worried about the Ravens. If the Ravens beat the Browns, that's sayonara.
Well, I'm just
unless
more
their
talking
team
for the audience.
outright collapses, unless the Ravens lose Lamar Jackson or something, there's no way the Browns are going to be able to win this division through Baltimore. That being said, I think after this Ravens game, the schedule gets a lot friendlier for the Browns. So getting that top wild card spot at that point would be the top priority. After the Ravens, you got Steelers, Broncos, Rams, Jaguars, Bears, Texans, Jets, Bengals. All of those are winnable games. All of those are games I could see us winning.
The Texans are nice.
The Texans are definitely a dark horse.
And you're in Houston.
They might win their division. We're gonna have a very angry friend.
So I'm not gonna lie to you. So our friend Javi, Highway Production, shout out to Javier, Big Comfy. I was talking to him. The Jaguars have low-key a very tough schedule coming up for them because the Jaguars are playing.
Do they still have to play the Texans twice?
They have to play the Texans one more time.
Because at that point.
So
a lot of people were circling the Texans as a game. Oh, that's one of the worst teams in the league. We're talking that up to a win.
So they have the Niners at home, this new built Niners because the NFL's fucking stupid. All these teams are stupid and cheap, and no one traded for Chase Young.
The Titans game, I don't think they have the offensive prowess to get out of that defense dragging them down to their level.
So then you have the Texans that are on the road to Houston.
They could go 0-3 in this next 3.
They could.
The Bengals are heating up.
They have the Bengals, they have the Browns, and they have the Ravens.
Definitely not beating the Browns.
And back-to-back in 3 weeks. I think these next few games for the Jaguars, these are some tough games. These are some really tough games. If you're the Texans, if you're the Houston Texans, it's time to buck up because listen, ladies and gentlemen,
Trevor Lawrence is going to show us who he is and is going to be for the rest of his career in these stretch of games.
If you're the Texans, the division's right there. The Texans, I think the Texans are like a 4-loss team, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, they have a last place schedule.
You do have a last place schedule, and your next few, it sucks because they have to play the Bengals next week. Bengals, Cardinals,
But I mean, I think they could.
Jags, Broncos, Jets, Titans, Browns, Titans, Colts. Like right now,
I think if CJ Stroud keeps pace, not saying
4-4.
6
They're
touchdowns a
4-4.
game pace, but if he averages a rookie of the year like what he's averaging now, I think they'll win the division.
I feel like if you're the Texans, you can probably only lose like 2, maybe 3 more games.
Yeah, because the Texans are going to be right there
before the division's just out of reach. I think the Jaguars are entering the harder part of their schedule with a lot of it, especially because they're playing pretty much the entire pretty much everyone in the AFC North except for the Steelers. They're playing some really tough teams. I don't think the Jaguars are really that good. I don't think they're bad, but I don't think they're that good. I think they can most definitely go on a little skid, and they can most definitely lose
They might be a wild card team
3 or 5
if they don't win the division. Might be. They might get that third wild card
So
spot.
before we wrap up today,
That could be an AFC North sweep. The way it's looking right now.
Since we're halfway through, what do you think? How do you think everything plays out? How do you think the playoffs shape up towards the end of the year? Since we're pretty much almost halfway through. Because if you don't have it, I can
No,
go.
it's okay. It's okay. I got it right here. So I feel like the AFC East still going to the Finns. I don't see the Bills won a lot of games last year through their defense. Their defense was phenomenal last year. They found their run game and they kept it together just enough for Josh Allen to heat up at the end of the year. But I don't think that the Bills have the chops. The Jets are gritting out games.
Y'all are stupid. Y'all should have just traded for a quarterback. I don't know what y'all were doing. Y'all were smoking something crazy. I should have traded for the quarterback.
But I think they're doing just fine.
No, they're not, Mark.
They're doing just fine with what they have.
I watched that game last night.
They
weren't doing just fine.
That was awful.
They needed a quarterback. They needed Carson Wentz.
Carson Wentz is now off the market.
Fucking idiots.
But I think that division is going to the Dolphins.
Yep.
I think the Ravens take the North. I think it's going to be a toss-up between the Texans and the Jags, but as far as playing the schedule game's sake, I think the Texans take the division.
Okay.
And then the Chiefs take their division. So
you got winning the AFC. Who's number 1 in the AFC?
Number 1 in the AFC. I mean, honestly, the Chiefs don't look good. So I have to give it to the Ravens.
Okay.
The Dolphins, I think, are frauds.
Everyone's saying that now.
No, because it's like
I get it. I understand it.
You got to prove it to me first. You're a new good team in the NFL as far as offensive prowess. You have the number 1 passing offense because of the 72-point game. But it remains to be seen, can you do this consistently?
Yeah.
So that's why I called them frauds. Not saying they're a bad team or anything, but I say...
But to say they're frauds is kind of saying they're bad.
I'm sorry. They're not as... They're being oversucked. They were being oversucked after that 72-point game.
Yeah. Okay.
I think they're the 4 seed. I think...
5 seed Browns.
Or no, Texans. If I have the Texans winning the division, they're the 4 seed.
Yeah.
Then the Dolphins, the 3 seed. Then the Chiefs. Then the Ravens. And then your wild card could most definitely be an AFC North sweep.
I don't think all 3 teams from the AFC North get in, but I do think
it's entirely possible, though, because the Steelers are a stubborn team. Like, we shit on their offense, but they're a stubborn football team, Tyler. They're 5-3.
Mike Tomlin, I wish
they're undefeated in the division. Like, it's hard to say that they might not edge out the Browns or the Bengals in the tiebreaker.
They won't. I swear to God.
But
we hurt.
I don't think the Jags might sneak in. That's going to be their 6 seeds now?
I think if you're asking me, I pretty much agree.
The Jags are going to be your lower wild card, and then it's going to be the Browns and the Bengals or the Steelers. You've interchanged those 2 teams or 3 teams. any of the teams in the AFC North could be in the wild
I
card.
feel like I agree with pretty much your top four. I have the Ravens 1 seed, Chiefs 2 seed, 3 seed going to the 3 seed going to the Fins, and then personally, I think the Jaguars hold on. Jaguars win the 4th seed. Hold on, get the 4th
If
seed.
the Jaguars win the division, the AFC North can definitely take. Because obviously it's like, okay, C.J. Stroud just had a 6-touchdown game, but can you do it consistently?
Yeah.
They're a young team. I could see them sputtering. If it's between the Steelers and the Texans for that last wild card spot at the end of the season, I'm edging out the Steelers. They're a stubborn football team.
So again, pretty much after the Jaguars getting the 4th seed and winning their division, I got the Browns going at the Browns 5th seed, 6th seed going to the Bengals, and then that last 7th seed. I wouldn't be surprised if you got either the Chargers or the Bills.
The Chargers stink though. They're kind of stinky.
They are, but they also are kind of trending in the right direction now later in the season. So I wouldn't be surprised if the Chargers are able to put it together and start kind of going on a run, and the Chargers sneak into the playoffs as a 7th seed. If not, the Bills just kind of get their heads back together a little bit, and the Bills push on. They get
Josh
that 7th
Allen
seed.
stops throwing ducks.
NFC, I think looking at it, I think it's really hard to say that the Eagles don't win it. They have some really tough games ahead of them.
The next team is the Lions at 6-2. That's the only team that's one game back from them.
Yeah, but I think the Lions have a few more losses on their coming to them.
Exactly.
Pretty sure, if I'm not mistaken, they
I mean, the way you pick the Eagles' schedule, they aren't the 1 seed.
So
if they lose 4 of the next 5, like you said they are, they're not going to be the 1 seed.
I think they can do tiebreakers and shit like that. They can still manage the 1 seed.
No,
I think
because you're not going to be a 5. You're not going to be 10-5 in the 1 seed.
They're gonna be 11-5. They want maybe not 11-5, but I don't think they go 11-5. I think they go probably 12-4. I think they drop three more games because they're something in 1.
Gotcha.
So I think they drop 3 more games. They go 12-4 on the season. I think you're looking at the
So what? Wow. I mean, honestly, right now, I think the way that it stands right now, all the division winners: Eagles, Lions, Saints, Niners, and then your wild cards:
Seahawks. You're looking at the Seahawks. You're looking at Dallas, and you're probably looking at
Seahawks, Dallas, and.
Minnesota with Josh Dobbs may do something, but I'm not gonna bet on it. I would say
the Falcons.
You'd be crazy.
They're looking kind of nasty.
No, they're not.
That defense
nasty,
is looking kind
bad.
of nasty.
Nasty bad.
They're holding it together though. Honestly, that last wild card spot can go to anybody in the NFC.
I think if the Vikings are able to just kind of piece together a few things,
it could be the Commanders.
It could be the Commanders.
They always sneak in somehow.
That's crazy. They're not going to draft. Also, I would say this.
They're too good.
There's a lot of teams that people are like, this team's drafting a quarterback. This team drafting a quarterback. A lot of the teams that are in position to draft quarterbacks this year probably aren't going to draft quarterbacks. I just want to say that. I think that's something crazy. The Cardinals have not even started to pay the $200+ million they owed to Kyler Murray.
And I don't think he's worth that contract.
Cool, he may not be worth that contract, but I'm also not going to just eat most of that contract and draft a new quarterback.
I don't know. Teams do some freaky shit when they get in that top 5.
If Kyler was on a rookie deal, I can see that, but I don't think they're doing that. I think that
maybe the Panthers renege on their Bryce Young choice.
They're not going to do that. If I think
they're kicking themselves in the ass right now.
I would say that also the Panthers don't have the picks to go get a quarterback this year.
Do they not own their picks?
No, they don't.
Ooh.
So
that GM is going through an emo phase right now.
I think that's crazy.
He watched that 6-touchdown game every single second of it.
But
the way that they slandered C.J. Stroud right at the draft process, just sickening.
Yeah.
Honestly, the guy. Honestly, there's less red flags with C.J. Stroud than there was with Bryce Young. as far as intangibles, like fine, whatever. But as far as build goes, Bryce Young has the slight build. He's short. That's a huge thing with the NFL. Say it's dumb all you want, but think about it. How many throwing lanes are you going to see when you're 5'11" or whatever, and your offensive linemen are 6'5"? Hands up in the air, like it's not going to work.
Looking at it, I don't think any of the teams that people think are going to draft quarterbacks are going to draft quarterbacks. If you're the Giants, it makes no sense for you to draft a quarterback. Go get Daniel Jones either some protection or go get him a fucking receiver.
That was stupid that they re-signed him.
It was stupid at the price they re-signed him.
That was crazy. That was a crazy contract.
I
don't know what he did to observe that.
He had a good year.
The Bears will draft a quarterback.
I think the Bears could.
I don't think they're going to have the 2 and the 3 overall pick and not use it on a quarterback. I find that.
I disagree with that. I think that if you're Chicago, the smarter thing to do is Justin, we're going to ride it out. And as crazy as people may think that is, I ride it out. I get a crazy haul. I get a crazy haul for that second overall or that third overall pick.
They're going to trade.
And then
it would be smart to trade down and get him some protection.
And then take
either a good receiver in the second round.
No, take Marvin Harrison with the higher pick. What?
Marvin Harrison might go number 1.
That's me.
Marvin Harrison might not go number 1 overall.
If you're asking me, I'm taking a receiver, and then I'm probably trading down a little bit, and I'm trying to take
the best non-quarterback, best player in college football
is Marvin Harrison.
And if the Cardinals don't trade back and they don't draft Marvin Harrison, they're dumb.
I would say yeah.
They're dumb. They're stupid.
But I think there will be a lot of takers. I think the Patriots are actually going to draft a quarterback.
There's no way they're trading up.
I think they are.
They're at number 5 right now as it stands.
I think they trade up.
I think the Rams will be liable to trade up.
I don't think they're
about to hit a rebuild.
I don't think the Rams are trading for a quarterback. I think the Rams are going to stick it out with Matt Stafford. I think the Rams are going to actually get probably either trade back, they pick up to get some more picks, or they probably take best player available at wherever they are. So no, I think looking at it, I think the only teams.
The Giants should draft a quarterback.
Giants, if you're the Giants, you should not draft a quarterback.
You should draft a quarterback.
You shouldn't. You
Fuck
owe
that
him money.
I'm voiding it all.
You're not voiding. You can't void it. That's you.
I'm paying him. I'm paying him.
Dumb. That's dumb. That's so stupid. Wait a few years.
They shouldn't have signed him to that contract.
Arch Manning will be out in about 3 to 4 years, guys. It'll be fine. You'll be fine.
What did they sign? How many years was it?
4. I think it's 4.
Ooh.
And 2 or 3 are guaranteed. So again, a lot of these teams that people think are going to take quarterbacks, they're probably not.
Can I trade out of that pick and force somebody to take Daniel Jones' contract?
Mm-hmm. See, that's another thing.
I'll give you my pick and Daniel Jones for the sake of peace of mind.
That's another reason why I don't think that these teams are drafting quarterbacks, or they're not. It's not realistic for them to take quarterbacks. Is if you draft a quarterback and especially with the first overall pick, people are going to want that guy to play. So what are you going to do with Kyler Murray in his contract? No one is taking Kyler Murray in his contract. No one is. Nobody. No one wants to pay him that. For a person that has not been really healthy and who's on the shorter side, no one is going to want to pay him that much money and then give you picks back. You're going to have to give them picks.
No, I'm going to give them my number 5 overall pick and undraft Daniel Jones.
That's disgusting.
Give me a practice squad player.
Other than that, I'm about to say, you got anything else you want to say?
No, we've been going for way too long, so we'll let the people go.
Football's been going crazy. Basketball's been going crazy. Love it.
We're going to talk about basketball next episode. Don't worry.
We said that last episode. We're sorry. Bye. Ball Boys. Make sure you subscribe, follow us on YouTube and Instagram, Ohio Boys Productions, OHIOBOIS Productions. Thank you. Appreciate you. Like, share, subscribe. Bye.